Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Facebook. How are you all today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's your girl Roz. So today I wanted to come and today I am coming as plain old Roz. You can see I don't have on any makeup. And it's just me. It's just me. No makeup, just a simple ponytail. And I want to tell you guys who I am. All right, all right. Do me a favor if you're catching this during the replay, put a one in the comments. If you catch this during the, well, I'm sorry, if you're watching this live, put a one in the comments. Catch this during the replay, put a two in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So, anyway, my name is Rosalind Hall. And I've always been known to say exactly what I mean and mean what I say, and with that, that kind of gave me a little tag, right? And when I was so honest. I had a cousin who would actually call it a Roz moment. And it wasn't like it was out of anger. It was just I was speaking my mind and I was telling it like it is. So welcome to Always a Roz moment. And I do believe I'm live on my page. I want to just kind of tell you guys a little story. All right, good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Connie. I just want to give you guys a little backstory. Um, I'm a little country girl. I'm from South Carolina, and when I was little, I was mainly raised by my grandparents. My mom had me at a very young age. She was 15. Wait. Uh, Goodness gracious, isn't that crazy? I can't even remember. But she had me when she was 15, and 15 or 16. Somebody's gonna say you don't remember when your mom had you. So it's really not. It's important, but it's not important. So at a young age, at that young of an age, you know, you don't really know how to raise a child. You don't know how to be a mother, right? So with my mom not really knowing how to, she did the best she knew how. Okay. And I say she did the best she knew how simply because um, a lot of things a lot of things she and I went through simply because we didn't have a really close bond. We didn't really have that mother-daughter relationship that some of you guys have. So, like I said, I was raised by my grandparents, up mainly up until I was 7 years old. So between the ages of I'm 7 and younger, that mother-daughter bond never really happened. So that right there was you know I really don't know how to explain it, because if I say too much it may sound bad, and I don't want it to sound bad. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, because that's not what I'm here to talk about. But so anyway, my mom got married. I moved to live with my mom and my stepdad. And so now, I'm living with my mom and my stepdad. But all the while, I knew he was not my father. And hey, I was okay, with living with them. Of course, I missed my grandparents, because that's who I had been with every single day. And my grandfather would pick me up from school sometimes. When it was time to eat, grandma was cooking breakfast, dinner, lunch. Look, down at the house, and we called it the house. It was breakfast, lunch, and supper. There was no dinner; it was supper, because we had dinner right around lunchtime, and my grandma would actually fix a full course meal for lunch. It wasn't no sandwiches or popcorn or anything like that. So that's what I was used to. I was used to really, that's where my bond was. That's where my bond was. So anyway, I went to live with them, and they, like I said, I was glad to be there, but I could tell that, like when we went around his family, it was like, okay, I was the stepchild. So I always knew I was the stepchild. So it started a little bit earlier than I would have preferred that, I would feel different and not be able and not feel like, not fit in. Normally I have, my little banner. It's normally bigger, but today it's not about the banner. Today it's about me. So like I said, I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you about me. Um and we'll get to it. I had to ask myself, will the real Rosalind Hall please stand up? So anyway, time went on, and he didn't treat me. He didn't. Ray didn't treat me bad. He did not treat me bad. But there were times when I would go with him to his family's house, and it would be maybe around Christmas time or something like that, or a holiday. We go over to visit, and there was always gifts. And I remember. I won't say her name, just for the respect of privacy, for that family. But one of his aunts would always, she was very, very sweet to me. She was very, very nice to me. Um, and she would give me, most people give kids candy and that sort of thing. But when it came time for Christmas, my brother would get a gift, my stepsister would get a gift, and my stepbrother would get a gift. And those were my stepdad's children, which made the blood, it was a blood relationship, but I didn't get anything. And I always thought that that was funny that we would go over there and everybody was okay with them receiving a gift and me not getting a gift. So, right there, I'm like, okay, here I am, 8 years of 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, years old, and they get gifts but I don't. Well, some other things were going on, nothing bad, so don't be, no, this is not one of those, oh my goodness, what did he do to you? Ray, he ain't never done nothing to me. So I don't want anybody thinking that that's where this is headed. It's not. Um so so I grow up. Finally, my mom and they divorced. And now I'm in middle school. And what I started realizing was that, okay, he because they divorced, and now I'm in search of, well, who's my dad? Who's my dad? So, for whatever reason, she didn't tell me. She never would really get into it. And it's every time I would mention it, it seemed like it would really, really upset her. It was really, really hard for her to talk about. And she didn't talk about it. And it was what it was. So to me, it was almost like she's keeping things from me. So what that did was it created a little anger. It created a little, why you won't tell me, argument, fights, and I mean arguments and fights. And I'm trying to figure out who he is. I had no idea of I do know now, but I had no idea how and why she wouldn't ever tell me who he was. And I thought it was just her being selfish. I thought that her it was her being selfish. Like, why won't you tell me? You don't want me to be happy? And I kept, I would always say, well, if I had a dad, I would go live with him and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have heard some of the same things, either from your kids or from somebody else's kids, or someone telling you about, something like this. And and the thing was, I had no idea what really, really happened. I did not know that the things that I was saying to her was just as hurtful to her as it was hurtful to me to not be able to get the information that I was seeking. Right. So time went on, our relationship, all like I said, we never did have the bond. So with us not having the bond, and now we've got all this in between us. You won't tell me, and I'm saying these things to her. It makes her feel just as bad. Now our relationship is just really no good. Really, not a healthy one. Definitely not healthy. As the years went by, I went to high school. I'm sorry, while I was in middle school, all of these things followed me. And I became, like I said, a not really a bitter person, but something about me drew me to people who would dominate over me. So I would be at school, I would be bullied, people would talk about me, and I would just take it. I remember this girl, if I say her name, because honestly, we're Facebook friends now, and I'm Facebook friends with her now simply because I keep her on my page as a reminder, of how weak I used to be, but I'm not weak anymore. Okay. It keeps me at a strong point. Every once in a while, I'll even go to her page. Okay. Yeah. I'll even go to her page just to look, just to remind myself. I'll never forget. They always say you never forget how people treat you, right? But I'll never forget what she did to me. I'll never forget what she said to me, and never forget how she made me feel. She lived in my neighborhood. We lived in the same neighborhood. Y'all, I had to ride the bus with her, all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about from slapping in the face to punching and hitting and that kind of stuff. And if you think about it, like if somebody came at me today with that kind of crap, it wouldn't. There's no way in the world. Listen, you better run. And I hope you can run fast. But that right there did something to me as well. So as I got older, I had to reassess some things. I had to figure out really why I was so negative. That was really, I was like really, really, really negative. Negative. I would just, tell people off for no reason. Everything that I would say I mean, straight out smart. I didn't care. You talk about super, super sarcastic in a very nasty way. I didn't care. I didn't care. And all of that was due to the things that I had gone through throughout my life. But that is not an excuse for me as a grown woman to continue to act that way. I realized one day I was very, very unhappy. Very, very, very unhappy. Not with what happened to me, but I was unhappy with who I had become. I knew that I could be happy. I knew that I could accept who I was, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know that I was supposed to use what I had gone through to help other people. I didn't know that I was supposed to use what I had gone through to become a stronger person, to be a problem solver, to be somebody who can help other people, or at least be a support for someone who could possibly be going through the same thing. And I thought about this for a very long time. I shouldn't tell my story. I shouldn't tell people about who I really am, because if I tell people about who I really am, I could lose friends. I could lose friends. I could lose family members. My mama might be mad at me. My cousins might be mad at me. My aunts might be mad at me. Everybody has a family secret, right? Everybody has a family secret, and people are always afraid that you might let the family secret out. But that's not what this is. This is not about family secrets. This is about what happened to me and how I became who I am today. So over the years, I did a lot of personal development, and it wasn't until 2 years ago, 2.5 years, no, 3 years ago, when I really, really realized I don't have to stay that same person. I was mad at a lot of things and mad at a lot of people, but I didn't have to be mad at people to be happy. You don't even have to be mad at people for anything. You don't have to do that. You can simply just live and be happy. And it's hard to explain. It really is hard to explain when I'm saying that, because How do you be happy and live with all the things that you've been through? Well, basically, what you got to do is know that you're worth know that you are worth being know that you're worth being happy. You see what I'm saying? You are, I don't even know how to explain it. Not that you're worth being happy, but you deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be able to breathe in and exhale and feel good about the inhale and the exhale. I should be able to feel good about, okay, what are we going to do today? Wow. Even if my finances are a little short, I still deserve to be good. I still deserve to be happy. I still deserve to feel good. Um, I I used to blame, and I got these little cards here as a reminder too. I used to blame my finances and me not being as successful as I could have been on those circumstances. If me and my mama would have this, if my mama would have told me that. Well, what I came to realize later is who who told you that if you had a dad that or a dad, a dad, or live with your dad, or your dad was around, who told you that your life would have been peaches and cream? Sometimes the cream ain't no good. It's spoiled. Sometimes the peaches are rotten. They're very, very soft and they don't taste sweet. They taste bitter. You guys ever bitten into a banana? I'm sorry, no, oh yeah, a banana with the brown spot. You ever been into a strawberry that was overly, either not overly ripe, but almost, it was almost rotten? Yeah. And what's the other thing? Oh, a peach. A peach, when it gets so soft, it starts to turn brown even on the inside. And when you bite into it, it has this nasty taste to it. It's the same thing. So life is not all about peaches and being, peaches and cream. You got to take the good with the bad. And the bad, you gotta know when to take that bad and turn it into some good. So me and my mama wasted all these years fighting and battling each other up until I was even married. And the one thing I did do, and one thing she did teach me is, number one, no matter what goes on in our family, no matter what goes on in our family, if you have something going on with one person, that you don't take it out on everybody else. And that was the one thing that I was like, okay, cool. All right, all right, all right. So with that, I thought about that for a long time, and I started applying it to our relationship. And I was like, okay, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. And I looked at our situation and I was like, is there really a reason for me to be mad at her? Is there really a reason for me to because she's a part of my family, is there a reason why I should be taking things out on her? It's not her fault that she did the best she could. It's not her fault that she thought that her not telling me was the right thing. I've done things to my kids and it probably wasn't the right thing. But I mean I did what I thought was right. And that was the thing. So we got to stop wasting time on old things. It's time to rekindle relationships. It's time for us to start, you know, being aware of what we're really doing to other people. It comes back at us. It comes back at us. So I'll say this. I'll say this, and I can't say I'm about to wrap this up, but I will say this. After I realized that it was me, I was really the problem. Because I thought that everything, and it was a big lie that I was telling myself. The lie I was telling myself is, I asked myself one day, why aren't you more farther in life as far as your successes than you are now? Why have you not even tried certain things? You've been saying that you want to be a motivational speaker. You're saying that want to be a millionaire. You are saying that you want to help thousands of women to overcome certain things and to become the best version of themselves. Why haven't you even stepped into that yet? What is it? What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? We're always waiting for the right time. We're always waiting on just, oh, here it is, time to start. And that's not how it goes. You start where you are with what you have. You have to start where you are with what you have. So that's what I did. But I had to read lots of books. I had to listen, and I had to listen not to just learn, but I listened, and I was asking God for understanding and the wisdom to give the wisdom so that I could understand the things that I was hearing. And I know I told you guys this before, but one of the things that I did not do that I wish I would have, but I didn't, and I'm okay with the way it happened, but I didn't graduate from high school. I won't say I was a dropout, but I struggled so much with all the other stuff I was dealing with on my own that and I'm not saying I dealt with it on my own, but I created most of it. So you have to take responsibility for that. So the reason I didn't graduate from high school wasn't because my mom wouldn't take me to school. She wouldn't buy me clothes. She wouldn't buy me shoes. But it was because of the insecurities in myself. Things that I could have, things that I could have learned and been able to do to pass the test, to do the assignments. I didn't do them. I didn't do them. I didn't do the assignments like I should have. I didn't study like I should have. It is what it is. And I'm just telling you guys, we got to stop blaming other people for our failures. We fail because we choose to fail. At a certain age, you know better. At a certain age, you do have to take on responsibility, and you can't just, oh, go and, oh, well, it's my mama's fault and I couldn't do this, and my daddy did this and blah blah blah. At a certain age, you are responsible for your actions. You're responsible for what you're doing with your time. And when I didn't graduate, I really thought it was the worst thing ever. I kind of hid myself a lot. I wouldn't talk about it. Um, it was just, I would run into high school friends. It seemed embarrassing because I thought they could see right through me that I did not graduate from high school. But so what? So what? I didn't graduate from high school. What difference would it have made? What difference would it have made? Because had I done it, I don't think I would be doing this right here. Because I would have either gone to college to do something else, or oh, don't get me, no, I'm not going off to college, but um, I would have probably just, taken a few classes at Greenville Tech, the local community college. Just did a little something something around there. And I'm serious. I'm just being me because I know me. I wouldn't have ever done anything big, right? But that's okay. I'll just do it big now. I'll just do it big now. And I had to, like I said, I had to ask myself, will the real Rosalind Hall please stand up? Because God didn't create me to just sit around and watch other people do good. He didn't just have me. He didn't create me to just sit around and just be mediocre and watch everybody else be successful. He created me to tell my story to so that other people would be relatable. I can talk to somebody. There's somebody out there that I can talk to help them to know that you can do better. You don't deserve being unhappy. You don't deserve, honestly, you don't deserve the hashing out and the crap that you're doing to other people. You don't deserve that. Because when it comes back in return at the end of the night when you're laying there sleeping, you're not going to sleep well. I hope you're not going to sleep well. So you shouldn't do those things to people, and they don't deserve it, and neither do you. But you can change that. You could change that. At least I think you can. I think you can. But anyway, like I said, it's not about coming on and feeling sorry for me or anything like that. I'm not gonna get into everything today. I'll finish it up tomorrow. But I did. I had to read. I had to listen to people um, who I was inspired by. I had to listen to. It was almost a. Do you want to keep living like this? Do you want to keep living paycheck to paycheck? But it was only until when I stopped doing those things, we and I'm my husband Travis, we've been married for 22 years, coming up 22 years next month. But even the things that we were going through had a lot to do with the way I was. It had a lot to do with the things that I was doing, which were not good. And I had to change. I had to change. A lot, some people are like, well, if such and such wouldn't do this, I wouldn't be this way. Or if he wouldn't act, if my husband would do this, I would be this way. It has nothing to listen. It may have something to do with them, but you got to start with self. You have to start with self improvement. So, like I said, will the real Rosalind Hall please stand up? So tomorrow when I get on, I was thinking about being standing up when I tomorrow, but I'll probably be sitting in this chair. But trust me, I'm standing up. I'm standing up. So join me tomorrow, guys. We're gonna just talk a little bit about how some of the things that we went through living paycheck to paycheck, and just I really it wasn't good for our relationship, my husband and I. It was very, very stressful. But not only that, the living paycheck to paycheck, that was just part of it. That was just part of it. But a lot of it was a negativity. It was negativity. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining another moment with me. Always a Roz moment. And like I said, I'm not looking for anybody to get on here. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry for you. Blah blah blah. I left out all the details. I don't think that the details are very important. I think that what's important is that to know that you can overcome what you've been through. You don't have to live in that. You don't have to accept that for the rest of you don't have to accept that as your assignment to live in. Don't look at it as why would God put me in this situation? Look at it like this. God put me in this situation for a reason. Let me let me let me do what I need to do to grow from it so I can do something about it to make myself better, improve myself, and possibly help someone else improve themselves. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.